Okay, today we're going to be going over Mark 11:12 to 19 and Mark 11:20 to 14:2. Remember, we got the month of the Aviv, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. This is nigh to Jerusalem. Mark is going to be nigh to Jerusalem. Luke is going to be ascending to Jerusalem, and John is going to be 6 days before the Passover. We already went over this. This is Matthew 21, 1 through 17, nigh to Jerusalem. He's been to Bethphage. He's in Bethany. 2 disciples, 2 donkeys. He goes into the temple, and then he goes back to Bethany. So while he's at the temple, this is what happens on that day. Goes into Bethany, goes to the temple, and then back to Bethany. While he's in the temple, he overturns the money changers. Okay, that happens on that day. And so then verse 18 and 19 is the fig tree, but I told you that Mark shows it for 2 days, so this is why we have 2 days. Verse 21-20 starts out, and when the disciples saw it. Okay, we know the disciples saw it, and Peter comments. And when the disciples saw it, Peter commented how soon it's dried up from the roots. But we know that happened a day later that he said that, and back here is when they saw the fig tree, when he cursed the fig tree, just like here. So this is why we had to give another day. This is why we're coming down, we're reading Matthew, we're going to go across and go up, because this is going to align with this. This is going to be the exact same words as this. By what authority, and right here, by what authority. So today we're just going over, so 21:20, what does 21:20 say? This is what we're going to be going over, the 2 different days. This day and this day align. Okay, and then we're just going to put it on our chart here, and then the 20th is the next day. This is just an enlarged how it went down on the month of the Aviv. On this day, this is what happened. As he returned, he hungered, period. Okay, don't try to necessarily connect that with he's going to the fig tree for he hungered. There's only leaves on it. There's not going to be figs for another 6 months. So I don't know why, he hungered, and then he passed by a fig tree. There was a fig tree in the way, and when he came to it, he found nothing thereon but leaves. And he says, and he curses it, no more fruit forever. And the fig tree withers immediately. Okay, so that makes it sound like it's all the way down to the roots and dust. But let's look at what Mark has to say in his 11:12 through 19 verses. Coming from Bethany, he was hungry. Again, period. New topic. He saw a fig tree afar off having leaves. Happily to find anything. Oh, if he could find anything to eat? Not necessarily. Happily if he could find anything. I'm not going to... Wasps help fig trees procreate. Maybe he was looking for wasps. Regardless, I don't think he was there for the food. But when he came to it, he found nothing on it but leaves, and the disciples heard him. The disciples heard him. Over here we have immediately it withers away, and then the very next line is, and when the disciples saw it, I'm going to say it's the next day, because the disciples heard it. And in the morning is how verse 20 starts out in Mark. And in the morning, they walked by the fig tree, and Peter remarks, oh, look how soon it's withered away. So that's why these two go together. It takes an entire day. That's why there's a break here. That's why verse 20 is an entirely different day, because that's how it aligns with Mark. Each day has a witness. Each day has 2 witnesses. So this simply is what we're putting here. And we will read here shortly on another brief why this is what authority, and what authority. But for now, I just wanted to show you chronologically. We've got the days going through Matthew. This is another day because it says in the morning. And this is another day because it's when the disciples saw it. They commented. And he goes into the temple and says, what authority? Same thing here. That aligns. And the same thing here. Notice it's leaves. It's leaves up here and then it's roots down here. That's what he's commenting on down here, is that it's dried up by the roots. The tree immediately, for the leaves immediately withered away, but the whole tree didn't go to dust until the next day. And Peter remarks, "Oh, it's dried up by dust." If you can see that a little bit. So that's how we are. That's where we currently are on. If we're making our own chart, the Aviv date over here, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. We're just reading like you would pick up your KJV and start reading. Right here is nigh to Jerusalem, ascending to Jerusalem. This is, he had been to Bethphage. It's a Bethany triumphal entry. He goes into the temple, overturns tables. The next day he goes to by the fig tree, but when the disciples saw it, here he's overturning tables on a second day. He overturns tables here and stays and heals and he stays and heals